Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Lincoln Journal Stars 4 Downs. Luke Mullin coming at you from Memorial Stadium, where it's actually been a little while since we've gathered for one of these big weekly pressers. Team took the week off, obviously bye week. They were in the building here for a few days before the coaches hit the recruiting trail, and that was one of the key things, that we heard from the team today. Just the chance to recover during that bye week. Obviously, Nebraska starting off the year in week 0, affords them that two bye weeks during the season, which is pretty key. Always getting the chance to recover, fix anything, institute new packages, whatever the coaching staff needs to do. Of course, plenty to do on the recruiting trail. I was there at Lincoln East where Malachi Coleman committed on Saturday, and the coaching staff all over the country extending offers, checking in on prospects. But for the players then, with no team meetings, nothing to do here over the weekend, a lot of them went home, got to hear the chance to recover, spend time with their families, maybe even watch a little bit of college football, which they don't really get to do there on Saturdays during the season. So bye week came at a good time. First bye week came at a good time too there after that Oklahoma game, but this one very important to get Nebraska ready for Illinois in a big stretch here coming up. And of course, coming off that huge performance that Trey Palmer had against Purdue, there's a lot of talk about Palmer and what this Nebraska offense can do, if Palmer were to get double covered or to get additional defensive attention, which is something Nebraska might have to account for in the next couple weeks. Of course, Palmer's so good at running deep, over the top of that defense. It's a big thing, especially when teams are playing man-on-man press coverage there at the line of scrimmage, something that Illinois has been known for, over the first few weeks of the season. So we'll be interested to see, how Illinois attacks Palmer. Do they send a second guy over there, keep his safety over the top? But no matter what they do, that opens up opportunities for Nebraska's other wide receivers. Marcus Washington came to the podium today, talking a little bit about how he's developed his connection, improved over the course of the season. He's got some guys on the Illinois team that he knows, former high school teammates, so it's going to be a big game for Marcus there. Of course, Oliver Martin and Alante Brown, two of those other key wide receivers in the mix. So we'll be interested to see how the coverage attacks Trey and how those guys respond to it. But of course, overall, this is a big-time challenge for Nebraska, especially that Nebraska offense, given that Illinois, the number one scoring defense in the country so far this year. Illini, great pass rush, great metrics wherever you look, run defense, pass defense. They can pretty much do it all, averaging just about 10 points given up per game. And this is, again, a Nebraska offense that put up 37 last week against Purdue. So a lot of, give and take. Does the offense come out and, show Illinois a little bit of that high-powered attack that they've had so far? Or can the Illini, get that pass rush to Thompson and make sure Nebraska doesn't have the time to carve them apart? But no matter how you slice it up, it's going to be a big challenge. Garrett Nelson said it's Big Ten football. It's physical. It's that kind of football that you want to see perhaps in October. So that's going to be the challenge looking at this team heading into Illinois. But looking a little bit bigger picture, as I mentioned, this bye week was super important to get Nebraska ready for a 5-week stretch. It might be a 5-week sprint to the finish line, of course. Lots of tough opponents. Wisconsin coming to Memorial Stadium the week after. Nebraska heading to Michigan, and then, of course, Wisconsin there to finish out the year, in Iowa as well. So tough defenses there during that 5-week stretch. Nebraska needed to get healthy during this week, needed to make some adjustments, and we'll see how the team, manages to respond against Illinois, gearing up for that final stretch of the year. We'll hear more from the coordinators tomorrow. Of course, we'll get ready for that game here back at Memorial Stadium on Saturday. But thank you all for tuning in to today's 4 Downs.